Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am so glad to see you and glad you're here for the 6th issue of the 123rd Annual Superhero Training Conference. We've been going on for a lot of years, and I'm so glad that you have joined us for this session of 8 weeks. Now, we have already covered 5 of the superhero qualities. These are qualities, remember, that if you accept them and analyze them, think about them, get them into your head, and then practice them, can turn anyone, even the weakest of us, into superheroes in our little world here. So, let's review the 5 we've talked about. The first one, heroes never give up at being good. Heroes always tell the truth. Heroes are generous. Heroes do what they say they will do. And heroes stand up for what is right. You cannot beat those character qualities. In today's issue, we're going to be talking about another super important quality. Jesus himself went to extreme lengths to demonstrate this for us. And so, if he did it, it is definitely a quality we want also. So, let's get ready. Let's stand up and sing our superhero theme song. Are you ready? Let's do it.
You wanna be a superhero, but you ain't got no power, no De Niro. And that's got you feeling like a zero. While heroes, they save the world on your TV. Well, I'm here to tell you that you're wrong. So take those thoughts and say so long. 'Cause heroes don't have to be strong, but choose right from wrong and live unselfishly.
Never let go, never lose hope, never give in, never lie low. Stand up for what is right and make the sacrifice. Heroes give their lives to help make a difference. Whoa, oh, whoa, oh, oh.
job of singing. Remember, we talked about this last week, and I'm sure the other weeks too, that whenever you feel weak, you don't feel like you have the power to even try to live out these qualities we're talking about, just ask Jesus. His power can help us do it. We always need to ask him. And we've been talking about these good things, about doing what's right. And a situation came up the other day. A friend of mine just wrote me a note. It was a sad note. And she said she was feeling just really awful, just crummy. Not sick, but just so down and sad and burdened. And I helped her with that. And then she said I could read her note to you. It gets us started on what our main idea is today. So let me read her note to you. It says, "Dear Nancy, I am having a crummy week. Last Monday, one of my really good friends that I had told a secret to went and told a whole lot of other people. And I had expected her to keep that private. It really hurt. And she said she was sorry, but I was angry. I told her I didn't care if she was sorry, that I was going to be mad at her forever. Then on Wednesday, another one of my friends borrowed my phone. I really liked that phone. And she was just diddling around with it and dropped it and cracked a case. Ooh, I really got mad about that. I was so upset, I yelled at her. I told her she was just clumsy and that I didn't care if she was even sorry. I didn't want to be her friend anymore. Then on Friday, another one of my friends had promised me that she was going to come over and spend the night with me Friday night. I really was excited about it. We were going to have some real girl time and stay up late, the whole baloney. I went out with my own money and bought snacks, and I rented a movie. And then, not long before she was supposed to come over, she called and said she couldn't come. That she was sorry, but somebody in her family was in the hospital and she couldn't come. Well, I didn't like hearing that. I told her she was mean, and then I hung up the phone right on her. Now, looking back at all those things, I feel lousy. I know I did not do the right thing. Well, that was my friend's story. And I told her, I understand. People hurt our feelings. They do things that make us feel bad. They can sometimes break things that matter to us. They can definitely disappoint us. But I also told her that a lot of why she was feeling so bad was because she was having a problem with unforgiveness. Unforgiveness. It's like all of you guys have backpacks for school, right? You put your things you needed in, you carried it to school, and sometimes if you've had a lot of homework or you have to bring extra clothing or more shoes or whatever to school, that backpack can get kind of heavy. Well, I want you to imagine a backpack that was empty. And when my friend failed to forgive her first friend for telling the secret, it just sort of blurted out of her mouth. It's like taking a big, huge binder of work and putting it in her backpack. That was kind of heavy. And then when the phone case got cracked, the screen, and my friend would not forgive her other friend, another big, huge book, maybe a big, fat, enormous Webster's Dictionary was added to your backpack. Well, then on Friday, when she got so angry because someone disappointed her, that backpack got even heavier. Something more was loaded into it. Now imagine carrying all those heavy things around in that backpack. It would just drain your energy. It would drain your joy. And that's what unforgiveness does to us. It occupies our mind. It puts a weight on our heart. We can't stop thinking about these wrongs that were done to us, and it just nibbles like a mouse gnawing on cheese, nibbles, nibbles, nibbles at you until you are miserable. But you know what we can do about that heavy weight. We can choose to forgive by letting go of our hurt and our anger and giving it to Jesus. And sometimes that's super hard to do. We even have to ask him, please, Jesus, help me forgive my friend, or forgive somebody who's not a friend that has hurt you. Forgiveness can be a very hard, challenging thing to do. But when you ask Jesus for the power to do it, and you give up that anger, that hurt, that resentment, you can move on. And it's amazing what it does for our hearts, which is the first benefit. There are also two more. One, your friend will feel better, especially if she was sorry, he or she was sorry about what they did to you. Forgiving them will let that burden off of their heart also. But it also, a number two thing, it could help them learn something. They could learn that forgiveness is possible when you do something wrong. And they can maybe learn a lesson about their own behavior. That sharing secrets is a bad idea because it hurts somebody. When they are not feel burdened by the pain of your unforgiveness, they can think about it and begin to think, maybe there was a better thing to do. Maybe I should have been more careful with that phone. Nobody can think those things when they're just hit in the face with your anger and your resentment and your unforgiveness. But when you take those things away, they can learn something too. So there ends up being 3 wonderful outcomes from forgiveness. And whether or not our friends actually learn anything or whether they feel better is immaterial. Although those are potential goods, the number one reason we forgive is to clear our own heart of that anger and bad feelings that we carry around when we don't forgive. So let's look now at our Bible scripture that's taken from Colossians 3:13. Let's look at that for a moment and then we'll read it together. Okay, let's read it. The scripture says, make allowances for each other's faults. We all have. And forgive anyone who offends you. Remember, the Lord himself forgave you, so you must forgive others. Let's try that again. Make allowances for each other's faults. And forgive anyone who offends you. Remember, the Lord forgave you, so you must forgive others. Wow, that's a powerful scripture. And I love to remember all of the opportunities that Jesus takes to forgive me. I want us to think about when he forgave us, he forgave everything that we had done when we asked him to forgive us. And each time we fail again, because we're going to keep stumbling and bumbling around as human beings, we can go back to him and he promises he'll forgive us again and again and again. So we need to do that for other people also. That gets us to our main point. Heroes forgive. That's what they do. That is what a hero does. So now that we get through this, let's take a look at Pow and Kabam. Oh, you know this is going to be a challenging story today. Let's look and see what's going to be going on with them.
It sure is a nice day. So, do you have all your components ready? What? Your components for your superhero gadget? We were supposed to build a superhero gadget, and it's due today. What superhero gadget?
Attention, attention. This is a reminder that all superhero trainees have only one more day to gather the supplies they need to construct their new superhero gadgets. The grade you receive on your completed gadget will go on your permanent hero record. I repeat, your permanent hero record.
That superhero gadget. We were assigned this project over a month ago, don't you remember? No. The assignment stated that we had to construct some sort of original superhero gadget. We were then to spend our time gathering components, and then we had one day to build it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'll do that. I was just seeing if you remember.
Well, that's good. Well, I sure hope they like my gadget. It's going to be a cold fusion-powered personal transporter unit. Oh, yes. With this baby, you'll be able to instantly arrive on the scene of any emergency and then quickly be whisked away from any dangerous situation. Oh, I sure hope these plans are detailed enough.
Yeah, those are pretty good. Well, wait till you see my plans. Just give me a second. I gotta go make them. I gotta go get them. Yeah.
Okay.
Hey, Kabam, here it is. Check out my gadget.
Well, what is it?
It's my anti-gravity device. Yeah, check out these plans. Check those out.
Okay, well, it looks like a couple of shoes with springs attached to it.
Exactly. With these amazing springs, I'll be able to jump to incredible heights. Like this. And like this. And like this. But only higher.
Okay. Well, good luck on your assembly.
Yeah. That Kabam, he's got all the best parts. Look at him with his bucket and all of his parts, and this is all I've got is It's not fair. It's just not fair. Hey, Kabam, what was that?
Huh? What?
Oh, nothing. Just keep building your what's-my-thingamabob.
I told you it's a cold fusion personal powered transporter unit.
That too. Hey, look over there. Watch out.
Huh? Where? What is it? I don't see anything.
Oh, sorry. I must have been imagining things.
Oh, okay.
I'll let you get back to your building with your blah, blah, blah thing.
That's strange. I could have sworn I had more capacity units here.
Hey, look out behind you.
What? What is it? Oh, is it a sock monkey? Get it off! Get it off!
Don't worry, Kabam. Sock monkeys are gone. You're okay. It's okay.
Oh, that was close. Okay, and now I simply must get back to constructing my transporter unit.
How's it going?
Good. What's it? Aha! I caught you. I knew something strange was going on here. Give me back my parts.
Hey, you just calm down. Hey, you got your parts back. Hey, what's that?
What? Where? Huh?
I'll give you some parts.
Huh? Oh!
That part's mine. Victory dance.
I said give me back my parts. Come on. Here's. What?
If I can't have the parts, nobody's gonna have.
No! No! What are you doing?
Oh no! What have I done? I'm so sorry, Kabam. I'm so sorry.
Let go of me! What's wrong with you?
Kabam, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened. I get so excited. I don't know what came over me. Sometimes I can't control myself.
That's just it. You always mess up. There was that time you abandoned me to go to a comic book convention and I had to face Rat Boy alone. Then there was that time that you borrowed my computer and traded it for an ice cream cone. And I also remember the time you took my shoes, put them in the microwave and melted them just to see what would happen.
It looked cool.
But this is unacceptable. I don't care about your excuses. I just don't even want you around me anymore. You're the worst friend in the world.
But I'm really sorry.
Good afternoon, trainees. If I understand the situation correctly, it seems that Pow failed to prepare for the superhero gadget building assignment. Pow also attempted to steal the parts Kabam had gathered, and eventually Pow beat up Kabam. But what concerns me most isn't what Pow has done, it's what you said, Kabam. You brought up a long list of things that Pow has done wrong in the past. Then you refused to grant Pow forgiveness. It sounds to me like someone hasn't heard the story of Jacob and Esau from Genesis, chapter 27.
Jacob and Esau were brothers, but like most brothers, they were very different from each other. Esau, the older brother, was very hairy and liked to hunt. Jacob, the younger brother, liked to stay at home. Their father, Isaac, was getting very old. He was even starting to go blind.
It is time for me to give my sons their blessings before I die.
Back in those days, when a parent was old, they would divide all their land and animals and give it to their children. The oldest son would get the most. This was a great deal if you were the oldest son, but Jacob wasn't the oldest son. He had a plan to trick his father into giving him Esau's blessing. Now remember, Jacob's father was blind, so Jacob put on Esau's clothes so he would smell like his brother. Then he put on animal skins on his arms so he would feel hairy like his older brother.
Esau, is that you?
Yes. Yes. Yes, it is your oldest son, Esau.
Come closer and receive your blessing.
Isaac gave Esau's blessing to Jacob. That meant that everything that should have been Esau's was now Jacob's. Jacob left before anyone would realize what he had done. Eventually, Esau came home and asked for his blessing. That's when Isaac realized he'd been tricked. They were both furious, and Esau started making plans for revenge.
I am gonna kill Jacob for cheating me out of what was mine.
When Jacob found out that Esau wanted to kill him, Jacob took off for another country. He decided he would come back when his brother wasn't mad at him anymore. 20 years later, Jacob began his journey back home. During his time away, he had gained a family, flocks of animals, and servants. He was worried that Esau might still be mad at him, so he sent a messenger on ahead. Eventually, the messenger came back.
Esau is coming this way to meet you, and he's bringing an army of 400 men.
When Jacob heard the news, he was terrified. He thought Esau was on his way to kill him. He almost panicked. Then he had an idea.
I'll send Esau gifts, and then hopefully he won't be mad at me anymore.
Jacob sent Esau 400 goats, 220 sheep, 50 cows, and 30 donkeys. And when Jacob finally saw Esau approaching with his 400 men, he bowed down to him 7 times. This was the moment of truth. Jacob had taken Esau's birthright and blessing. This was Esau's chance to get even and kill Jacob. But Esau didn't kill Jacob. He did something else. Esau ran and hugged his brother. Esau forgave Jacob for everything that he had done. Because Esau forgave Jacob, the family was complete again, and they lived in peace with each other for the rest of their lives.
Forgiveness is a powerful thing, trainees, and I should know, because I am the forgiven. I used to be a villain. I've done all kinds of things that I shouldn't have, but God has forgiven me and given me a second chance. I now try to help other villains by telling them about God's forgiveness. Since I have been forgiven, I know that I need to forgive others. Kabam, God has forgiven you. I think you know what you need to do. I leave it up to you. The forgiven. Out.
Heroes forgive. Forgiveness. Wow. You know, you really did hurt my feelings, amongst other things, when you hit me with that bat. And that wasn't very nice of you to destroy all my parts. But you're my friend, and I know that I mess up sometimes too. So I forgive you.
Really? You mean you're gonna forgive me?
Yes, I forgive you. I don't want you to feel bad about all this. But I do think it's only fair that you clean up this mess that you made.
Yeah, you're right. I'll go get a broom.
You know what? Wait up. I'll come with you and help you clean.
You're such a good friend.
Okay. Oh, I got kind of nervous there watching that story. For a minute, I thought that might be the end of their friendship. You know, sometimes unforgiveness can totally destroy relationships. Families. People have gotten mad at each other in families and never spoken for years, never seen each other for years because of unforgiveness. It can ruin friendships. And I was so worried about Pow and Kabam. They are such good buddies. But thankfully, it didn't interfere. That's why forgiveness is so important. If we don't forgive, we always take a chance on ruining relationships. It's not only the person who has hurt us we forgive. We hurt ourselves when we don't forgive. So, you ready for our superhero challenge? Okay, choose a superhero, choose a color, somebody to cheer for, and get up and let's get ready to cheer on our superheroes.
On your mark. Get set, go!
thank God every time that we have the opportunity to forgive. Let's remember to thank Him first of all for forgiving us. That is such an incredibly wonderful gift that He has given us. And thank Him twice for giving us the power, giving us the ability to forgive others. Now, all that we have learned today, it has been really good. Let's remember our main point, that heroes forgive others, just like God has forgiven us. And let's get ready now to review our questions and go on. Then we will be leaving for our superpower workshops, our individualized workshops. Hope you have a really good time practicing, doing the activities. And at home, maybe at home you can think about a situation in your own life when forgiving was hard. Forgiving somebody was hard. It was hard to let go of how you felt about a situation. Maybe you could share that with somebody at home. Maybe you could draw a picture of that situation. And then tell Jesus one more time that you have forgiven that you have let it go, and that even though you have a memory of that situation, it no longer is a burden on your heart or a burden on your friend. So, hope to see you again next week. Have a good week.
The giant mechanical menace Robotor has begun another destructive rampage. Please help us answer these questions so we can stop Robotor.
Robotor is back and we need to stop this robot. So it's time for our first question. In our Bible story, what were the names of the two brothers? A, Edwin and Jacob. B, Esau and Jacob. C, Esau and John. D, Pow and Kabam. Do you think the answer is A, B, C, or D? I'll give you a second. And the answer is B, Esau and Jacob. What did Jacob do to get Esau's blessing? A, he asked nicely for it. B, he bought it. C, he tricked their father. D, he threw a fit. Do you think the answer is A, B, C, or D? I'll give you a second. And the answer is C. He tricked their father. All right, it's time for our third question. We need to stop this robot. When Esau and Jacob met, what did Esau do? A, he punched Jacob. B, he stole Jacob's stuff. C, he ran away from Jacob. D, he forgave Jacob. Is the answer A, B, C, or D? I'll give you a second. And the answer is D, he forgave Jacob. That is awesome. All right, it's time for question 4. In the skit, what was Kabam trying to build? A personal teleporter. B, a matter transformer. C, an anti-gravity device. D, springy shoes. Do you think the answer is A, B, C, or D? I'll give you a second. And the answer is A, a personal teleporter. All right, we're halfway done with these questions to stop Robotor. Question 5, why did Kabam get mad at Pow? A, Pow tried to steal parts. B, Pow hit Kabam with a club. C, Pow made a mess with Kabam's parts. D, all of the above. Do you think the answer is A, B, C, or D? I'll give you a second. And the answer is D, all of the above. Man, that wasn't very nice. All right, it's time for question 6. Why should you forgive people when they do something wrong or hurt your feelings? A, because they'll like you more. B, because you'll get in trouble if you don't. C, because God forgives us. D, because you'll get money. Do you think the answer is A, B, C, or D? I'll give you a second. And the answer is C, because God forgives us. All right, we're getting close to stopping this robot. Question 7. If your little brother breaks one of your toys, what should you do? A, make him buy you a new one. B, tell on him. C, break one of his toys. D, forgive him. Do you think the answer is A, B, C, or D? I'll give you a second. The answer is D, forgive him. Man, that sounds like a real superhero. All right, it's time for our last question to stop this menacing robot. Question 8. What is today's main point? A, heroes forgive. B, forgive your heroes. C, forgiveness is heroic. D, be a hero, forgive. These all sound pretty good. Do you think it's A, B, C, or D? I'll give you a second. And the answer is A, heroes forgive. I'll see you guys next week.
Robotor has been stopped. Thank you for helping us. Mega City is safe once more.